Coming up next, gearing up for more holiday crowds in the coming weeks after the busiest day ever at U.S. airports.
Airports are very busy, flights are full, travel is back in the United States.
Plus, how the increasing demand for live Christmas trees has forced changes at a local farm.
We have never before, until the past 2 years, had to shut down before Christmas Eve.
And the effects of food insecurity in Centre County at the holidays. The Centre County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm John Calavita.
And I'm Jessie Nguyen. Thanks for joining us for the Centre County Report. Our top story, a truce between Israel and Hamas is in its fifth day, with the militant group promising to release more hostages to delay the expected restart of the war. Hamas is still holding about 160 people hostage after its October attack on Israel, but more than 50 Israelis have been released so far during the break in fighting, and 150 Palestinians have been released from Israeli prisons. As people reunite with their families, the Biden administration has told Israel it must avoid major displacement and mass casualties among Palestinians if it restarts the offensive. Back at home, a suspect in the shooting of 3 college students of Palestinian descent in Burlington, Vermont, has pleaded not guilty to attempted murder charges. The shooting happened over the weekend near the University of Vermont. The 3 men were walking to a relative's home when a man confronted them with a gun. Jason Eaton is charged in the shooting, is being investigated as a possible hate crime.
An event to support Palestinians is set for tomorrow in Centre County. The March for Gaza is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. at the Allen Street Gates downtown. It's the latest in a series of protests like this one earlier this fall in State College. It's organized by a group called Penn State Students for Justice in Palestine. Its members claim what's happening in Gaza is genocide, and they're calling for an end to the Israeli siege.
The first of 2 funerals is happening today in Georgia for former First Lady Rosalind Carter, who died last week at age 96. Family watched yesterday as her casket was placed in a hearse for a motorcade that made its way 140 miles to Atlanta. It stopped at Carter's alma mater, Georgia Southwestern State University, and ended at the Jimmy Carter Library. Presidents Carter and Biden are attending the first memorial service today in Atlanta, and another is set for tomorrow in the Carters' hometown of Plains, Georgia. The Carters were married for 77 years.
During this holiday season, many people focus on food, and they love to cook and eat. Turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing is the ideal Thanksgiving dinner for most. But for others across Central PA, it's a much different experience, and not a good one. Olivia Jean has more.
For most people, family, friends, and food is how they describe Thanksgiving and the happiness surrounding the holiday. But for many others, it's not like that at all.
I will say that holidays are hard for our guests.
For people across Pennsylvania who don't have the money for a home or enough food, the holidays can be rough. Nationally, the U.S. government says roughly 17 million people were food insecure last year. Homelessness is another serious issue. Bahilu Nathan Strait is homeless in State College, even spending time on Penn State's campus. He says he tries to stay positive and help others find joy in life.
Sometimes when you have personal hardships in your life, just giving back is one of the best things you can do, because I think that's probably one of the number one purposes of life.
Out of the Cold is a homeless shelter in State College and held its annual Thanksgiving dinner recently for all of its residents.
They're just another person. Honestly, being homeless can happen to anybody.
More than 200 people are homeless in Centre County.
It was really hard to choose between food or a place to stay at night.
To help the food insecurity issue, Pennsylvania U.S. Senator John Fetterman recently introduced legislation this fall to cancel school lunch debt.
Some of the homeless people here would benefit from Senator Fetterman's new bill, but not just people in Centre County, because the bill impacts the entire state.
Fetterman says school lunch debt in Pennsylvania is $80 million. And nationally, it adds up to $262 million. The State College School District Food Service Director says if passed, it would help in a big way.
Children should be able to come to school and get breakfast and lunch without having to worry about how they're going to pay for it.
In the State College District, a school lunch costs between $2.75 to $3.55. If you have multiple children, it can quickly add up.
When kids do eat breakfast and lunch at school. There's a lot of research that shows they perform better academically. There's just a lot of advantages to making sure that our kids are well fed during the school day.
That it's not just about canceling a lunch debt or student loans or whatever it is, that it's about money. It's about reducing stress. It's about increasing mobility. So when people don't have a barrier, they are closer to be able to get to their goal.
And with inflation still high and housing costs rising every year, it's an issue likely to keep growing. In State College, I'm Olivia Jean for the Center County Report.
According to a recent Purdue University survey, 1 in 8 Americans lack consistent access to food.
This holiday season is also a critical time for retail sales. Yesterday's Cyber Monday continues to be the biggest online shopping day of the year. Adobe Analytics expected consumers to spend over $12 billion yesterday alone. Other experts believe holiday shoppers will spend more this year than last year, but the pace of spending will slow. Along with buying this holiday season, people are flying in numbers never seen before. Reporter Angelica Rubin says it was a holiday weekend for the record books.
Whether taking off or checking out, Americans were setting records over the Thanksgiving holiday.
The Thanksgiving holiday period always has the busiest travel day of the entire year for us.
Thank you. The Transportation Security Administration says Sunday was the busiest day at U.S. airports ever, with more than 2.9 million passengers screened at TSA checkpoints nationwide, 10% higher than the equivalent day last year.
Airports are very busy, flights are full, travel is back in the United States.
From the skies to the stores.
It's really the Super Bowl for the businesses and merchants.
Amped up Americans were spending big on Black Friday to the tune of an estimated $9.8 billion, with sales made from mobile devices accounting for more than half of all purchases.
The heroes here seem to be the U.S. consumer. They are strong and resilient, and they're buying.
While the early morning storefront stampede may be a thing of the past, brick and mortar visits were up 4.6% over the last year. According to Sensormatic Solutions, some shoppers are looking to maintain tradition.
One of my favorite activities is going out and Black Friday shopping with my mom when I come home.
And some willing to go the distance to get discounts.
I got up at 1 a.m. this morning because it's like a 2-hour drive.
But the spending spree isn't over yet. Adobe Analytics predicts consumers will shell out $12 billion today, cashing in on Cyber Monday deals, which would set another retail record for the books.
One holiday tradition you'll once again pay more for this year is a Christmas tree. Prices are up across Pennsylvania and the nation, but many say it's worth it to keep up family traditions. I visited a Center County tree farm as they got ready for the busiest time of the year. Tate Farm has been selling Christmas trees since 1950. Elton and Marion Tate started the business over 70 years ago, but for the last 13, Emily Zink has been running the show. The Philadelphia native met the Tates at an agricultural conference and has been working for the family ever since. She says preparation for the Christmas season begins in March, when she begins planting, which turns into fertilizing, and pruning, which is all done by hand.
We do everything the hardest way possible.
The farm was forced to make a tough decision the last 2 years as the fields were picked clean. There are over 20,000 trees here at Tate Farm, which may seem like a lot, but Zink says due to a tree shortage over the past couple of years, this farm and many farms in the area have had to close before Christmas.
We have never before, until the past 2 years, had to shut down before Christmas Eve because I know you look out there and you don't see that it's running out of trees, but we ran out of trees that were saleable.
The tree shortage can be traced back to the economic collapse of 2008, wet weather a few years ago, and the pandemic.
When we planted our trees 7-8 years ago, no one could have foreseen a pandemic, so we didn't plant to accommodate that. So it turns into a shortage, and we can't make more overnight.
The shortage has also caused prices to increase dramatically here and across the nation. According to the American National Christmas Tree Association, the average price of a live Christmas tree in 2012 was around $40. Now you'd be lucky to find one under $100.
The demand is just incredible.
Many people worry about not being able to get a tree. Zink says she has a simple solution. Don't wait.
Just come get your tree.
That's exactly what Ed Hevner did when he was picking his daughter Valerie up from Penn State.
We always go by here, so we wanted to stop in and get the Christmas tree early.
If you're apprehensive about picking up your tree early, Zink says if you get your tree now, it should stay green well into January. Well, it sure feels like Christmas outside today. Student meteorologist Jeremy Laguerre is live in University Park with more on the cold and even a little snow. Jeremy?
Yes, it is very cold outside and it's beginning to look a little bit like Christmas. We did have some snow earlier today and we could expect some snow flurries to continue throughout the day. Now, like I said, it is very cold outside, so if you're coming outside, make sure to bundle up. Temperatures right now are in the 20s, and with the wind chill out from the west at 30-mile-per-hour gusts of wind, we're seeing temperatures that feel like they're in the teens, and it's really not going to get much warmer than this throughout the day. Parts of the state are even feeling like it's single digits. Now, temperatures will be in the 20s for the rest of the day today, but the good news is today is the coldest day of the weekend. It is going to warm up. Now, how cold is it going to get and how much snow are we expecting to see throughout the day? I'll let you know in just a few minutes in my full forecast.
Thanks, Jeremy. Still to come on the Center County Report, a fundraiser today for Giving Tuesday that can help kids with cancer.
Plus the latest on Penn State football, from a feel-good win in Detroit to what's next for the Nittany Lions. Also coming up, would you like a 4-day work week? More companies are trying it out. We'll look into the idea next.
Today is Giving Tuesday, and on Penn State's campus, an event today will help the world's largest student-run philanthropy. It's still more than 2 months away until Thon, but today is an in-person donation event at the Hub. Every third donation is matched by up to $100 by Johnson & Johnson. There are also fun activities happening there today, including music, a photo booth, and scavenger hunt. Thon raises millions of dollars each year for childhood cancer patients and their families.
Many companies across the country have experimented with a 4-day work week for their employees. Now, a new survey is providing more insight into the types of schedules people prefer. Adam Sheets reports.
Once considered a fantasy, more and more companies are experimenting with the 4-day work week, testing what's always been the norm.
There were obviously benefits for sort of individuals in the sense of having more time for family, rest and recovery.
But the benefits don't stop with the employees.
Having those boundaries really encourages companies to think about their processes, make them work more effectively, and make them more resilient and sustainable organizations.
When people were asked how different options would impact their well-being at work, 77% of U.S. workers said a 4-day, 40-hour work week would have a positive impact, according to a new Gallup survey. But experts say those 10-hour days could lead to burnout.
It's a question of, do you like a 3-day weekend more than you hate 10-hour work days?
The COVID-19 pandemic forced employers to embrace work from home and hybrid options. But now, economic uncertainty is leading large companies to order their employees to return to the office. So would a 4-day work week ever be embraced by the corporate world?
We've seen a divergence between the largest companies really doubling down against flexibility over the past few months. But flexibility is still thriving among smaller and mid-sized businesses that are using that benefit, and flexibility is a benefit, as a way to attract workers who wouldn't necessarily consider them otherwise.
I'm Adam Sheets for the Center County Report.
Dozens of countries have tested a 4-day work week, including Ireland, Spain, and the UK.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm student meteorologist Jeremy Laguerre here for your forecast. And taking a look at the radar, you see we got a lot of clouds right now. This is a snow squall that's going to be moving into our area pretty soon, around 1 o'clock. So that's going to be bringing us just a little bit of snow. But right now, the main story is that it is cold. 27 degrees right now here in State College with that snow incoming from that snow squall. Feels like temperatures at 14, and that's because it's quite breezy out there. Winds out from the west-northwest at 16 miles an hour. Now, taking a look at our weather headlines for today, a snow chance. We do have snow around, and we're going to be seeing several snow squalls and several snow flurries throughout the day today. Freezing temperatures. It is cold outside. I'm much happier inside right now. Temperatures are going to be below freezing as we go throughout the day today, and we're not even going to be hitting 30 today. And rain on the way. We are expecting rain to be on the way this weekend, but the good news with that rain is it's going to warm up. Now, temperatures are in the 20s and 30s here in the State College area right now, and as we zoom out across the Commonwealth, we're seeing generally the similar story with temperatures in the 20s and 30s, pretty typical winter temperatures, but for this time of year, this is actually below average. And when we incorporate that wind chill, it's going to be even colder with temperatures in the teens and 20s across the state. Some parts of the state are feeling like it's in the single digits with that wind chill. Johnstown right now at 4 degrees. Now taking a look at our almanac, as I said, it is below average for today. The normal high for today, 44 degrees. Today, we're not even going to be hitting 30. Today, temperatures are going to be in the 20s, and like I said, with that wind, it's going to be feeling even colder. Now taking a look at our futurecast as we go throughout the day today, those snow squalls and snow flurries will stick around. We'll be a little bit clearer as we go into this evening, and Wednesday, we're expecting the clouds to stay around, but overall, we're not going to be seeing much snow for tomorrow. Temperatures will still be cold for tomorrow, and as we go into Thursday, we'll still be around freezing for Thursday, but the good news is as we go into the weekend, we will warm up to at least the 40s. But that warm up is going to come with a whole lot of rain as the system moves into the mid-Atlantic and northeast region, bringing snow and wintry mix to maybe northern portions of Pennsylvania and southern New York. But overall here, we're just worried about the rain. Now, as we go into Saturday, showers will linger around ahead of another system that's going to be moving in on Sunday, bringing again snow to northern regions. But here, we're just going to be worried about rain. Temperatures should be in the 40s for this weekend. But for today here in State College, 29 degrees is the expected high with snow flurries around, wind gusts up to 33 miles an hour. We're going to drop down to the teens tonight, and it's going to be feeling very cold. We'll probably feel like we're in the single digits tonight, with wind gusts up to 24 miles an hour. And taking a look at tomorrow, high of 37 degrees with sun and clouds around, but we're not expecting any snow. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, today is the coldest day of the week, but the good news is we're going to warm up as we go into the weekend, but that warm up is going to be coming with some rain showers for this weekend.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's so cold out there today. I was freezing the entire time just walking here. Now let's move on to sports with Matt Scalzo.
Thanks, Jesse. Coming up next in sports, the Nittany Lions finished the regular season on a high note on the football field. We look back on the game and ahead to what's next. Also ahead, Penn State hockey looks ahead to a Big Ten battle after a holiday weekend sweep at Pagula Ice Arena. I'm Matt Scalzo with sports. The Nittany Lions are bowl bound, but they won't find out their destination until next Sunday. The Lions finished the regular season at 10-2 after a big win against Michigan State over the weekend. The offense let loose in Detroit.
James Franklin and the Nittany Lions traveled to face Michigan State at Ford Field for their first Black Friday game in years. Penn State started strong on its opening drive, with Alex Felkins converting on a 49-yard field goal. The defense followed suit with Detroit native Jalen Reed intercepting Michigan State's Caton Hauser. Following another Falcons field goal, the offense got into gear in the second quarter as Drew Aller found running back Katron Allen for a 2-yard score. Coming out of halftime, the blue and white continued to surge as backup quarterback Bo Pribula connected with Tyler Warren for an 8-yard touchdown. On the next drive, Aller dialed up the deep ball, hitting Amari Evans for a 60-yard completion that led to a Pribula rushing touchdown from 2 yards out. Aller wrapped things up with a 21-yard passing touchdown to Theo Johnson. Penn State outgained the Spartans in total yards, 586-53, and recorded 7 sacks and 12 tackles for a loss on its way to a 42-0 thrashing to take the Land-Grant Trophy home for the second straight year. The Lions ended the regular season on a strong note with 10 wins, and now look ahead toward what they hope will be a New Year's 6 bowl game.
Next up, Penn State waits to find out its bowl destination. That's after this weekend's conference championship games. James Franklin is also busy interviewing possible offensive coordinator candidates. And of course, the transfer portal opens in just a few days. Penn State women's volleyball has again made the national tournament. The Nittany Lions will play Yale on Thursday in the first round in Lawrence, Kansas. If they win, next up will be the winner of Kansas and Omaha on Friday night. Penn State is playing in the NCAA tournament for the 43rd straight year. Penn State hockey stays at home this week to face top 10 Minnesota on Friday and Saturday. Friday's game is the annual Teddy Bear Toss event. The Nittany Lions played a 2-game series against Lindenwood this past weekend at Pagula Ice Arena. The Lions offense exploded for 16 goals over the weekend, with Jacques Boucaud recording a hat trick in Game 1. The Lions have won 3 in a row, and their record stands at 8-4-3. To basketball now, the Lady Lions are back on the court tomorrow night at home when they take on Radford. Penn State is 6-1 to start the season. They beat Providence on Sunday at the BJC. That's after splitting a 2-game holiday tournament in the Bahamas last week. To high school football now, Karnes City quarterback Mason Martin is still on his road to recovery. Martin is still hospitalized after collapsing on a field during a football game in September. His dad updated his Facebook page saying Mason's latest infection has been negative for the past week, but he'll need to be negative for 10 days to receive a new shunt and start his rehab. Karnes City school officials sent a statement to Center County Report saying, quote, "We plan to work with his family to support his educational needs when he is ready. At this time, our school and community continue to pray for his recovery and return to our school." That's all for sports. Now back to Jesse and John at the desk.
Thanks, Matt. I know all of us here at the Center County Report are hoping Mason Martin has a quick and speedy recovery. Coming up next, a popular food and drink event returns to State College. See how it's helping to raise money for a great cause. A pre-holiday event brought people across Center County together for a good cause. Taste at the Town was a night filled with food, drinks, and live auctions led by Tammy Miller as well as DJ Alex Napa. The signature fundraising event for Center County United Way was held at the Penn State Hotel. Speakers that night included Matt Stuckey from Mitsubishi Supercenter as the presenting sponsor, Paula Williams, United Way director, as well as radio personality Angela Stecco, this year's United Way campaign chair. They're still totaling up the amount of money raised.
Now, John, before we say goodbye, we want to wish our own Steve Krasik a very happy birthday. He's our director of student television here at the Belisario College.
And you know, Jesse, we do have another birthday boy here. It's John Drager's birthday. He's one of our fantastic executive producers. Happy birthday to you both.
Happy birthday. Well, that's all for today's newscast. We hope you join us Friday for our next local news update.
You can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.